So in this video, we're going to have a look at all the different type of calculations that you will need to do with time in LANTITE. So we have an example here where Sarah has an appointment, but she's got a journey first. So she's going to leave her home at 7:30 a.m. and the trip takes 50 minutes. So one way we can do this is visually. So on your piece of paper that you'll be using in your assessment, you could show that we are starting at 7:30 a.m. So we are starting at 7:30 a.m. plus 30 minutes to get us to the nearest hour, which is 8 a.m. plus an additional 20 minutes because we're traveling 50 minutes in total, which is going to take us to 8:20 a.m. Alternatively, we can use the column method. So we've got 7 hours and 30 minutes plus 50 minutes, which is going to give us 7 hours and 80 minutes. But when we're doing calculations with time, we often measure time in 60s. So there's 60 seconds in a minute, there's 60 minutes in an hour. So we can convert 80 minutes to 1 hour and 20 minutes. And once we've done that, that will tell us that it is also 8 hours and 20 minutes. So it is 8:20 a.m. So you use whatever technique you're more comfortable with here, whether it's visual method over here or whether we're using the column addition. Let's have a look at some other types of questions. So here we've got a scenario where we have to book in appointments with students. And it tells us that a student advisor plans to meet each student for 20 minutes. So that's something you might jot down on your piece of paper. And they can schedule appointment in 2-hour blocks of consecutive consultations. We need to see 65 students, and hence we need to figure out how many 2-hour blocks that we need to book in. So let's take us through the process. The time needed is 20 lots of 65 because we got 65 students at 20 minutes each. So that gives us 1,300 minutes. If we want to convert that to hours, we need to divide by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour, which approximately gives us 21.67 hours. We can round this up because we're working to the nearest whole number, especially where we're doing 2-hour blocks. We can't have like 1.67 hours because we're booking in 2-hour blocks anyway. So we round up to 22 hours. And if we're doing 2-hour blocks at a time, divide that by 2, and that will tell you that you need to book in 11 blocks of 2-hour slots, and then you would be able to fit in all of your students in that time with a tiny bit left over. Another thing we need to be comfortable with is reading timetables. So here we've got the timetables of a train. The first question says, if Amy catches a train at 1:23 p.m. from St. James, what time will she arrive at the town hall? So what we're going to do is see where St. James is at 1:23 p.m., which is here. So now that we've got this part, highlight that entire column. So if we highlight that entire column, we get the following. And we're going to work our way downwards. So we're at St. James at 1:23, which means we would get to Circular Quay at 1:27, so on and so forth. So we want to find what time we'll arrive at Town Hall. So if we go down, Town Hall is here. So we will arrive at the Town Hall at 1:32 p.m. The next one, we've got Jed arriving at Central at 1:45 p.m. So we can locate that here. Highlight the entire column again. But this time we want to know, when did he catch the train from the museum? So we are going backwards, but we're going to remain in this column. So if we go to the top of this column, and there we are, we're at the museum. So he must have got to the museum at 1:30, caught that train, and then arrived at Central at 1:45. So the answer to this one is 1:30 p.m. Lastly, we're going to do another calculation with time. So this question catches people out quite a lot, so let's do it together. The question says that a ruler began their reign in 45 BCE and ruled until 12 CE, inclusive of both years, which means the entirety of those years, not halfway through or at the beginning. How many years did they rule for? So from 45 BCE to 0, it's 45 years, but it's this next bit that often confuses people. I explain it that you're not born at 1 year old. So when we get to 0 and then we go to 1 CE, that is 1 year. Okay, you're not born 1 year old straight away. When you turn 1, you have been alive for a year. And then if we go from 1 CE to 12 CE, how to think of this part is, remember, we're including the entirety of the year. So when you are just about to turn 13, so the entirety of your 12th year of being alive, you have lived for 13 years. So we have got the 1 year here and an extra 12 years from this part. So that part is 12 years. So in total, we do 45 plus 1 plus 12, which is 58 years. But my advice, if that is a bit confusing, just add the yellow section. So people quite often get this as 45. Add this section, people often get this as 12. And just make sure to add 1 because you are inclusive of those years.